welcome back to day 24 of the 100-day of GCSE Geography countdown series over here on my channel. Today is day 24, as I said, and today we're looking at the physical characteristics of cold environments. So let's go. What actually are cold environments? Cold environments experience temperatures that are at or below 0 degrees Celsius for long periods of time. In the most extreme conditions, such as the Antarctic, temperatures can often be below 0 throughout the whole year. Less extreme cold environments, such as northern Canada and parts of Iceland, simply experience very cold winters. So the characteristics of a polar environment. The climate. Winter temperatures often fall below 50 degrees centigrade. These areas have very low precipitation levels, so snow. The soils are permanently covered by ice, so soils are permanently frozen. Some plants, such as mosses and lichens, are found on the fringes of this ice. And the animals. Polar bears, for example, are well adapted to this polar environment. To retain heat, they have thick fur, an insulating layer of fat, with a black nose and foot pads to absorb the sunshine. In the Antarctic, penguins lay their eggs on the land and bring up their youngs before returning to the ocean. Let's think about tundra environments, the characteristics. Here, the climate is less extreme. Winter temperatures may drop to -20 degrees centigrade. The warm summers can be brief, but can be quite warm. And the amounts of precipitation, mainly snow, can be high in coastal regions. Plants. Low-growing, flowering plants, such as burberry, Arctic moss, and tufted saxifrage. Low bushes and small trees may also grow in the warmer regions. The soils are frozen, known as permafrost, but in the summer they will melt at a closer level to the surface. Soils there are relatively infertile as well. Water draining through soils removes the nutrients, and the soils often become waterlogged because water is trapped by permafrost. The animals. With more food options here and a less extreme climate, several animals do live here, including the Arctic fox and the Arctic hare. Birds such as ptarmigans, and insects such as midges and mosquitoes are abundant in the summer. How does vegetation adapt to a cold environment? Few plants, if any, are actually found in the polar regions, but they have a wide variety of plants live in tundra environments. This is because they have evolved a number of special adaptations to cope with the low temperatures, strong winds and dry conditions. For example, flowering and seed formation happens in a very short period of time, so that reproduction can take place during the short summers. Plants are low-growing and cushion-like to protect and insulate them from the long, dry, strong winds. They also have hairy stems to keep the plants warm, and their thin and waxy leaves help to reduce water loss. So we're going to briefly look at the question today. Explain the characteristics of soils and plants in tundra environments. So the soils in these tundra environments are often frozen due to permafrost, but in the summer the top layer, this is called the active layer, will thaw out. As a result, they're fairly infertile because there's so much water drainage as they melt, and that removes the nutrients from them. Plants are low growing. You can talk about the Arctic moss and the tufted saxifrage, and yeah, some smaller trees and bushes may grow. You can talk specifically about them. So seed formation and reproduction happens in a very short period of time, so they are adapted to grow very quickly. They're low-lying to protect them from the strong winds. They have hairy stems to keep them warm, and waxy and thin leaves to reduce this water loss. That was a 4-mark question, so you do not need to mention all of that. Just pick 2 or 3 and explain them. So I do hope this has been useful. Subscribe down below if it has, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye guys.